Hello guys, it's me, Elsie from Time to Invest. Today is the 23rd of May 2016 on Monday, and I'm just bringing an update to my channel about what's happening around the world. I want to be really quickly today. I want to talk about two different subjects at the moment. The first one is the Venezuela food crisis. I don't know if you're aware of, but there's food crisis going on in Venezuela as we speak right now. And people are absolutely starving, and people are fighting on the streets, and they almost have like a martial war on the streets, and troops in the streets stopping people from vandalized buildings and shopping centers looking for food. As you can see, Venezuela is South American country. It's on the bottom of America, and the neighbor countries are Colombia, Chile, and a couple other countries around there. Venezuela, it's something around 600% GDP negative. So they've printed their money so many times that they're running out of paper to print the money. So the quick run out that I've done on this investigation in Venezuela, it comes down to all these people are queuing up to get food. And for what people are saying and the channels are saying, and people are queuing up is several queues to get food, several queues to get the money out of the cash point machine, and several queues to even just to go to the shopping center and buy stuff. You have to queue up. So this is really, really, really sad that it's happened to Venezuela. Um, the successor president of Venezuela is Mr. Maduro. Is taking over Hugo Chavez after Hugo Chavez died of cancer in 2013. Um, so he's taken over with the blessings of Hugo Chavez. But at the moment, Venezuela it's not friendly with the United States. So United States have put some sanctions in Venezuela, and therefore their oil and their stuff to be sold. Other countries are not buying it. They're only buying with US dollars, and Venezuela cannot get the US dollars to buy to continue to do business with other countries. So that's one of the reasons that Venezuela is ongoing short of food, medicine, and other products. So especially on capital of Caracas, I have promised to help Venezuela overcome ongoing shortage of food, medicine, and other products. So Venezuela is in real pickle at the moment, and it's very sad that people are fighting for food and things are happening in Venezuela. Just
Am I
quickly,
doing
I'll show
here?
you a video about this Jeff Beck. Just really quickly, what's going on in Venezuela. So this video is just a quick update.
This is
So
Gradowski of WeAreChange.org here in the barrios of Caracas, Venezuela, one of the top murder capitals of the world. What am I doing here? I'm crazy. As a journalist, I try to give you stories that all the other journalists are afraid to show you. I want to show you the raw truths of exactly what's happening in this world, but I think I did too much coming here to Venezuela. I'm joined by another crazy man, the one and only Jeff Berwick of the Dollar Vigilante. And the things that we have experienced, the things that we have seen here in Venezuela are absolutely insane. Jeff, just go off some of the things we saw here.
Well, I think just coming out of the airport and being told by, we actually were met by some people that we knew, and them telling us that this is the most dangerous areas just walking out of the airport. And then we found out after we left that just a few hours earlier, a man was killed. They attempted to rob or kidnap him, and then he was killed. That was just our initial. Of course, we had to change money inside the airport because to get the amount of hyperinflation here is actually just unbelievable. You need a backpack full of money to buy a dinner. And then once we got into town, it was just crazy story after crazy story of, and we're just seeing the lineups. This is a true country in collapse. This is a hyperinflation and socialism reaching its ultimate end.
This is a true economic Armageddon. Venezuela is in a state of emergency right now. Its currency has been devalued 92% since the last 2 years alone. And the things we have been experiencing here, I mean, I grew up in Brooklyn in the 90s. I saw people shot, I saw people stabbed, my friends got killed. I went through all that, but what I've experienced here is far more than I thought I would ever see anywhere in the world. And it's like the criminality is brought on by the government as a way to control the people. Like, we were driving by and our fixer showed us this huge, huge building. And he was like, yeah, this is a building, a skyscraper, that's being run by a criminal organization. There's people squatting in there, and this is where all the kidnapping happens. But you walk around town, and there's government-mandated signs saying gun-free zones everywhere you go, and no smoking signs. While there's massive, incredible crime, our fixer lost 2 of his best friends who were murdered on 2 separate incidences just 6 months ago alone. I mean, we were out just walking.
Just showing you a different video about Venezuela as
Hi
well.
and welcome to
As
Elite
you can see,
NWO
people are queuing
Agenda.
up just to have food, Venezuela. This is a really big crisis at the moment. So let's back it up, guys, and see what else it's going on here in Venezuela. Hyperinflation is hitting in. So when hyperinflation hits
in December 2014,
what
citizens of
happens
Venezuela.
when that happens, the inflation hits in, your money goes really up in value, and the money that you earn in it has no purchase value. There's no purchase power. For example, at the moment, the money is for each Australian, for each each 100 US dollars, it's 13 bula. 13 bula, it's the Venezuela money. So they have to have 100 US dollars, its value of 13 bula. So in order for them to buy something, they have to have at least $1,000 would be 150 bula. So basically, the money is so inflated, 600% inflated, that it has no purchase power. Um, it's very sad because Venezuela used to be a very, very rich country, and they used to sell oil, and they used to be very, very good. Let's just watch
Oil-rich
this for a
nation to
minute.
selling off its gold reserves, all in an effort to stave off a pending economic meltdown. The cash-strapped country, it could default on its debts by next year when lots of debt payments are actually coming due. Venezuela owes about $15.8 billion worth of debt payments between now and 2016, the end of 2016. The country's massive social welfare programs, they're running out of money. President Nicolas Maduro, he's coming under fire because of his economic policy advisor that denies inflation exists. Now, Elliot, here's what's happening. They've pumped a lot of money, worthless money, into their market in an effort to stave off this recession that's happening right now. 93% of its value has been lost in the past 2 years. How they're handling this crisis, though, it's absurdly ridiculous. It's really, targeting people. The government, they've even started kicking people out of lines, social welfare lines, based on the last digit of their national ID registry. So, oil-rich country, Chavez, the argument is, and I'll let you get into this because I know you have some opinions over this, but Chavez, the argument is that the way that he structured the sale of oil and the production of oil has a lot to do with this.
Sure. I mean, it's a country that has the world's largest petroleum reserves, and yet it's in this terrible situation. And clearly the accusations and the assumptions are that it's been incredibly inefficiently handled and also corruptly handled in a corrupt fashion. And there's nothing really necessarily new there. What is new is the fact that getting to this position where it's now going to be defaulting on its loans, defaulting on its debt, and becoming effectively bankrupt as an entire country. This is a country whose exports and its exports are accounted for 95%, or oil exports rather, account for 95% of its trade revenue. So the oil price, the fact that it's gone down to 24 bucks a barrel when it costs around $20 a barrel to source it and get it out of the ground and ship it,
It's
You know,
it's a
sure,
storm of
it's a
things.
perfect storm of inefficiency, corruption, aggressive low.
Anyway, guys, I don't want to spend too much time on somebody else's video. Um, just to give you guys an overall of what's happening, people are actually fighting on the streets for food. That was the video I was looking for to show you guys. But as you can see, just open your eyes about Venezuela, and yeah, it doesn't look good. Now, I'm going to jump to a
Hi,
different
and welcome
subject
to.
here. I'm going to show you just a list of Forbes really quickly. So this is the Forbes list. It's Forbes, the world's billionaires. While we're talking about food crisis in Venezuela and people are dying, getting kidnapped and all that for food and for pennies and all that, I'm gonna quickly show you this list of billionaires. Pretty much, these people are the 1% people that do not work, you do not see them, and they do not go for the elections and all that. But in saying that, they control the elections with lots of money, with lots of sponsor money, and da 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 da. Um, so I'll start on the very top here. The richest man in the world that we know about it, because there's more, but others don't want to be known, uh, publicly. So let's go to the very top of the list and see who's the richest man on the world. Um, and do you really think that they were sitting there and using the US dollar paper money? I don't really think so. So, the world's billionaire. So, we start with the world's billionaire. It's Mr. Bill Gates. He's approximately earning $75 billion per year. That's his net average income per year. And he's the founder of Microsoft computers or softwares. And as you know, computers is everywhere, Microsoft is everywhere, every desktop, every place you go, you should have at least one computer. And, 50-50 will be maybe three times more will be likely to be Microsoft than the Apple computers. In saying that, the Apple Steve Jobs was actually earning $152 billion. But he's not on the list because he's no longer here. He died 2013, I believe. And so they've taken his name off the list. So we go on to the next person, who is Amancio Ortega. Is the owner of the shop Zara in Spain. This shop is very popular shop. It's very expensive. It's something like Myers, but it's a little bit more sort of trendy clothes for young people. It's very, very nice actually. I like the shop. Um, haven't found anything that I like that, but I like the shop. So it's $67 billion is worth Amancio Ortega. And then we all know the Warren Buffett, who is the founder of many companies and share stocks and things like that. So he earns something about $60.8 billion per year. And and da 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 da. As you can see, these kind of people, we don't really know some of them. Telecom, Amazon's, Mark Zuckerberg, who is the founder of Facebook, we know him, Oracle. So as you can see, 50, 45, 44 billion, 43 billion. Bloomberg is 40 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So if you think about it, 1 million is 1,000 of $1,000 is 1 million. So 1 billion is 1,000 of 1 million. 1,000 of 1 million is 1 billion. So those guys are $75 billion ahead of most of us. And as you can see, I mean, you have to have a business. The purpose of this video is to show you that if you go to work every day and be an average Joe, you will not be succeeding at all. Because all the successful people, they all have business. They all have income, point of support, who helps them and supports them day after day, working or not, they are getting support by their business. As you can see, this man here is a Wan Jiling. He's, I believe, is a Chinese. He has real estates in China and all over the world. $28.7 billion. Um, and yeah, so if we want to succeed, you and me, we want to succeed. I know this guy here as well, this Jama, the founder of Alibaba, its online shop, sell multiple stuff like eBay, is another billionaire. So we have to come up with something that um, no one knows, or we have to perfect something that's already there in the market, and then you'll be able to open your own business online or not, and you'll be able to succeed as well. I mean, to the extent of 15 billion and billion, I don't know, but it's worth to try, isn't it? As you can see, it's a lot of billionaires here, and these people are the people that are controlling the newspapers, the news, the markets, the stock markets, the forex exchange. Rupert Murdoch, okay, go 10.11 billion, 10.6 billion. And this is the people that control all the markets while we asleep, while we go to work every day and we come home and we repeat the same thing over and over again. So these people are controlling your life, my life, and their life because they can. As you can see, Gina Reinhardt here, she's $8.8 billion. She's on the minor business. We all know about it. And I think I had Donald Trump right at the end. If I can find him, it was something around $11 billion so far. So, um, or it might be, yeah, this might be a little bit, oh, it's been updated, but this is the update one. Oh, maybe it's been left out, the update for Donald Trump, because it was worth something around there. So, as you can see, so many billionaires in the earth that we don't even know about it. Look at this Richard Branson, which we know about it, is the man who founded the Virgin planes, megastores, CDs, whatever, from the United Kingdom. $4.9 billion is nothing compared with Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or the other investments. But I mean, that's amount of money. You don't really have to do anything anymore. That's enough to for yourself, for your family, for your ancestors, and to feed everyone until they all die. It's just spending every day. Um, so just finish up this list here, and I'm looking for Donald Trump because I would like to know what Donald Trump is worth. Let's see here. I might have passed Donald Trump. Uh, anyway, he's around $3.2 billion or 3.5, something around there. He's not far. He's not anywhere close to Bill Gates, but he's a billionaire. Um, so that was just to wrap up, guys. This is to you open your mind about if you go to work every day and decide to just close yourself up, but you don't want to invest in anything, you ending up working until you retire. And to be more specific, the government are changing laws about the retirement. They pushing the retirement to be 65 for women and 75 for men. So by the time you retired, you're pretty much, about to die, really, because there's nothing left of you, really, 75. Um, so my ideal is you gotta have a business, my friend. You gotta have to create a business. You gotta have to make one. You gotta have to come up with something while you're working, while you're busy, while you're having your family, while you're on holiday, while you're working hard. You also have to invest hard. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Um, so, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this by saying good luck to everyone, and be aware, be safe, because we're coming up to a big, big, big financial collapse this year. And be prepared. Get yourself some gold and silver, and be very prepared, because the more money they print, the more money you save with gold and silver. The more you protect your money. All right, guys. I wish you all well, and take care, everyone. Bye.